Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been seeing this cold girl makeup trend all over Instagram, TikTok-ish, because I don't really be going on my TikTok that much anyways. But I decided to take my own spin on the cold girl makeup and do a nice radiant but still matted out makeup look for the winter. I hope you guys like it. This is low-key my signature makeup look and I'm obsessed. I always feel like I look like the most beautiful woman in the world when I do this makeup look. So I hope you try it. Let's get the bill. Per. Sorry. Hi, my loves. I hope you're doing really well. It's good to be back to posting on YouTube again. So I'm starting off with using my lip primer. I get really dry lips, especially in the winter. So I always like to make sure that before I start doing anything else on my skin that my lips are nice and prepped. Like I'll either do like a lip balm or the lip primer. There's times I've used lip gloss, but I don't use lip gloss before you start doing your makeup. It's just sticky. And now I'm prepping my skin with the Hyperreal Serumizer. I am 100% completely obsessed with this product. If you have seen any of my other tutorials, you've probably seen me use this. I really like it because it's infused with hyaluronic acid. That's one of my favorite skincare ingredients in the world because it works really nicely for me, and I do get more and my skin tends to be more on the dry side, so I like to use products that will keep me nice and hydrated even if I'm going to be using mattifying products on my skin afterwards. I'm also applying my skincare with a brush because it's giving like luxury. It's just a luxury experience, okay? Apply your skincare with a brush, not with your fingers, and then thank me later. Now I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer. This primer is a classic. I really like it because it gives you a perfect balance between having a radiant finish but then also and hydrating your skin. Having a radiant finish, hydrating your skin, but also helping with oil control. So if you have more oily skin, this is still something that you can use for those radiant looks. And if you feel like you need to, you can layer this on top of or underneath another mattifying primer just to make sure that that oil is locked and tucked locked and tucked locked and tucked away, if that's even how you would say that, but I don't know, who cares. I'm not re-recording that, so yeah. Next thing I'm using is a brow gel. Ignore that is dirty, but it's clear. I don't know how it got that way. I couldn't tell you, but I'm just using it to tame my brows down a little bit. It's going to dry down and then all the brow hairs will just like stay in place. I don't mind this brow gel. It's not a brow glue, it's a brow gel. So if your brows are more tough to deal with, it's a decent product, to be honest. It may not necessarily be like what you're looking for, but then I've probably done other tutorials with I have done other tutorials with other products that could work. And if I haven't, then I'll do more. Love you. Okay, so now I'm putting on my foundation. I'm using a shade that is about 2 shades lighter than what I would normally use because when I was thinking cold girl makeup, cold girl makeup, cold girl makeup, I was like, it has to be pale. The foundation has to be like just a little bit pale because you know in the winter, apparently you lose pigment in your skin. I haven't yet. I probably won't be this. I mean, let's say by February, my skin might be that shade, but I highly doubt it because I don't tend to see too much change in my skin. Like in the summer, I might get darker, but I don't really change my foundation shade. I just tweak concealers and stuff. But we'll talk about that in other videos. For now, let's focus on just this blend. I went straight into foundation. I skipped out on contouring because there was actually no reason for skipping out on contouring. I just didn't feel like I needed to this day. I didn't care to look like super snatched for this. so I skipped out on like contouring and defining my cheekbones excessively. And I wanted to keep that like pale kind of sickly look, because that's how I feel in the winter. I feel pale and sickly, but I'm okay this time. I'm okay this time. I hope that you guys are dealing with your seasonal depression in, I mean, hopefully you don't have seasonal depression. Hopefully it doesn't hit this year. I don't want seasonal depression to hit this year at all. I don't want it to hit at all. So hopefully you guys are actually doing okay, but I just wanted to make this look like the foundation to be pale. And I'm looking back at this now, I'm just like, oh, like as soon as I started, there was no way I was going to take it off, especially after like putting on my skincare products. But I was looking at my face and looking at my neck and looking at my chest. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is, I don't know how I feel about this. Cause like, I feel like this is kind of makeup look where you just wear a turtleneck so no one sees the color of your face and your neck, and they can't tell that like, you know, wear the right foundation shade. But I intentionally did not wear the right foundation shade, so I went out like, I don't care, who cares, it's my makeup, what are you gonna do about it, who gonna check me? Sorry, that wasn't funny, was it? I don't think that was funny. I just had to laugh, because why not? If you don't laugh, you cry. If you don't laugh, you frown. Anyways, I'm using 2 shades of concealer for this look, intentionally, again, because of the shade of foundation I used, of course, as I've been saying, was too light for me. And so I used an NC48 Studio Fix concealer. And I placed it how I normally would place my concealer. I put it in my under eyes. I like doing like a nice snatch around the outer corner of my eyes, and then I use the NC44, which is a lighter shade, just like closer to my under eyes, but I didn't go all the way up into my under eyes. I tried to avoid the direct crease of my under eyes, because when I blend, it's going to blend in that area anyways, but when you put it slightly lower, that helps to avoid creasing, because you basically have less product in that area. I also like to clean up my brows. Sometimes I clean up my brows before I've actually filled them in, because when my brows are done, I usually don't feel like I need to do too much to them, because my eyebrow hair is already pretty dark. So I just like to carve out the brow, give them a nice shape, and I just wanted to keep them really nice and natural looking for this makeup. I actually had time, so I was thinking about what I was doing. I wasn't just like vibing it out. I was actually like, okay, this is what I'm going to do now, and that's what I'm going to do now. Like I actually like kind of prepared myself. I picked out the products I wanted to use. I was like, oh, like what do I want to do? This was very like nice and thought out, which is nice, because sometimes I do my makeup and it's just on vibes. It's just like, what's in front of me? How much time do I have? Okay, I have 20 minutes today, let me throw on some foundation. But you know what though, this like routine, like the technique I'm doing right now of like the foundation first and then the concealer and the brows, was actually something that, do I say I discovered or I came up with? Both. I did both. I both discovered and came up with it. I think one random day when I probably just had like 20 minutes to get ready for work, and I just had to throw on some makeup, and I ended up looking at the look and I was like, I really, really like this. And I literally spent time just like drawing it out on a face chart. I wrote down everything I used and I was like, I really like this look. This is really, really pretty. And then my coworker was like, yeah, you should make that your signature makeup look. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be my signature makeup look, but it could be. It could be. I'm definitely going to tutorial that look and a couple other like routines that I really like, that really work for me. But I like contouring. I really, really like contouring. And this look doesn't include contour. I do bronzer like later on, because bronzer is a necessity for me personally. Like bronzer, define cheekbones, making sure that like my forehead Because my forehead is already so big anyways, so it's just like, okay, you need to kind of like snatch that forehead a little bit. And I like my cheekbones too, so I just like to like redefine my cheekbones. So I really, 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 really like contouring. I really like contouring. Yeah, so I'm just blending my concealer at this point in time. I've been just blending my concealer. There's only so much you can like actually explain when it comes to blending my concealer, but you already saw what I did. If you didn't, you could go back and listen to me talk about contouring again. But I basically start with blending out all the edges where the concealer meets the foundation. I feel like that's really the most important part to blend out, to make sure that your face looks really nice and everything is just like cohesive and quote unquote natural looking, because you're wearing makeup, like it's not natural. Anyways, I blend out all the edges and then I go like in the middle. What was I doing with that brush? I think there was excess product on the brush, so I was just taking it off. That happens like quite a bit, especially when you're blending out with cream products and using brushes. Brushes will always give you a really nice full coverage finish, but like you're going to get excess product on your brush that you might have to take off. You could do it on the back of your hand. I prefer using paper towel to do that, so I don't know why I was doing that on the back of my hand. I just didn't want to stand up, to be honest. I definitely just didn't want to stand up. Who knows what was going on in my head at this point in time. And I was listening to a podcast. It was a really good episode. I was listening to the To My Sisters podcast, and they were talking about I think it was the episode that they were talking about things that you should kind of just like leave in 2023, moving on into 2024 as you're thinking about the new year. I really liked that episode. There was a lot that they said that I honestly cannot recall at this moment, but I would like to talk about things that they spoke about eventually. Now I'm spraying my face with Fix Plus. I like to set all the liquid products that I use down a little bit and just give that time to dry down. This helps a lot with the longevity and the wear of your makeup. This, if you have concerns about using product, is usually where a lot of people will also stop doing their makeup. Like there's a lot of people who don't set their under eyes with powder and all those other steps. I do it. Some people don't. Some people will use their liquid products, let it dry down, set with setting spray, and it still lasts. It still lasts, but I like the look of powders. I like the blur, and that's where I'm going to talk about this powder in particular. It's a really nice oil controlling powder, but it's also hydrating. I don't remember if it's talc free or not, but it gives you a really nice like blurring effect. And every time I use this, I literally feel like I'm like walking around with a filter on my face, because it's like it just snatches and covers everything. And I know you'll be like, oh, but you already have such clear skin, there's nothing to cover. No, my skin is not perfect. My skin is not perfect. Like, I wish. It's doing really, really well, but my skin is far from perfect. But I would say that like the products that I've been using recently, like the Hyperreal Serumizer, the Studio Radiance serum powered foundation as well, which I've literally been using almost every day since it came out, and I think I've only been like 2 or 3 makeup looks where I haven't actually used that foundation. It actually works. Like, the claims are not outrageous and ridiculous. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've seen my skin improve. Not 100%, obviously, like there's still work to be done. But I've seen my skin improve so much recently. I don't think I've gotten a pimple in like weeks either, considering I wear so much makeup. I haven't gotten a pimple in weeks. I also wasn't wearing makeup every single day, so that's nice. Like when I was like in school, I'm still in school, but like when I go to school, I just don't wear makeup because it's definitely time consuming. I would like to, but it's time consuming, and I'm just like, I'd rather just like get ready, go barefaced, and then spend my time studying, whatever. So it's nice now that like the semester, the term is done, and I just have time on my hands to like do something for me and just put on my makeup and film and edit these videos for you guys. I'm also, now that I'm done with that tangents that I went on, I'm also using my Studio Fix powder. It's a pressed oil controlling powder once again. And I know I was like, why are you using so many oil controlling products when you have dry skin? But guys, even if you have dry skin, you're still going to see oil. You'll see oil maybe like, I usually don't see too much oil until like 6 or 7 hours after I've actually been wearing my makeup, but you will see oil. I like when the oil builds up though. I like that like nice refresh look, but I still like to like make my skin look semi-matte on with that. It's a nice like I was saying this before, it's a nice balance between like the radiance and the matte finish. I like to keep the matte look like in my under eyes, like right to the sides of my nose, and then I like to keep that radiance in like my forehead, my cheeks where I put on bronzer and blush. It just works. It just works. It just looks good. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. It's just like, yeah, I just want to look good. Every time I come to do my makeup, I'm just like, yeah, I just want to look nice. I just want to look pretty. Now I'm using the bronzer that I have been yapping and yapping about for ages and ages. I like starting my bronzer right from where I have that nice little hollow area of my cheeks. Yesterday, was this yesterday? No, this wasn't yesterday. I'm recording, this video is going up on Thursday and I'm filming this voiceover at Thursday at 12 a.m. midnight. But on Tuesday I was at work and we had someone come in for an interview, and this was actually the makeup I wore to work on Tuesday. And she came in, she had to do her makeup interview, and I took all my makeup off and then she did my makeup because you have to do like a makeup interview when you apply to work at a makeup counter. So I took off all my makeup and she did my makeup, and then she was doing my contour and I was like, I really like where you place my contour, because I usually put mine higher but then she puts it a bit lower. And I filmed a video recently actually where I put my contour a bit lower just because I was recreating an image and her contour was really low, and I was like, I really like where you put my contour, like you look really really good. So I just noticed that I kind of have mine like as low as it was, but then she was doing a cream contour. Anyways, that's not important. I'm just I'm just remembering things. It feels like I'm journaling at this point. It feels like I'm just journaling and like talking about what's going on in my day or in my days, which is nice. Thank you for listening to me talk about my days. Love you. Yeah, I like to make sure that bronzer goes like all over my cheeks, my cheekbones, on my jawline, my forehead. And you can see that just makes me look like I'm alive again, because I was actually looking pale and sick before I did this. Now I'm using the Mineralize powder. I use this in the shade Dark on this day because that still will keep the integrity of this like pale sickly look, but then I wouldn't look pale and sick because it just adds more color back to my face. It's really close to the color of like my neck and my chest as well. Not close enough, it's not perfect, but it's really nice and sheer, and it just brought some life back in. And I'm just stippling that in with this dual fiber brush. Everything that I use in this video will be linked down. I also like that this is a full face of MAC Cosmetics because I've had my days when I went to work and I wasn't wearing like a full face of MAC makeup. But like I am one of those people who like shows up to work with a full face of MAC makeup. I promise you. I promise you, like if you ask me what are you wearing today and I tell you it's this product, it was actually that product. I love that for me. Do you care? I care. So that's all that matters. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Kigi, shut up. This is why I don't stay up late at night. You know why? Because when you stay up late at night and you start doing things, you just start talking shit. I don't know. I don't think I should have said that word. You just start talking shit. Anyways, I'm using this cream blush. I used a cream blush intentionally, like what I was saying earlier about having that radiance like on my cheeks, on my forehead. I use the cream blush intentionally because it just gives that like really nice dewy wet look. And I like the juxtaposition between that like dewy look to where I'm just like completely matte in my under eyes and around my mouth, on my forehead. I like it. I think it looks beautiful. This is something that if even if you had like more oily skin, your oil probably doesn't go all the way to your cheeks, so that's something that you might want to try as well. I'm using my eyebrow pencil. It's in the shade Stud. I'm just really lightly filling in my eyebrows. I just like to fill in any areas that are kind of more sparse. I like my brows to look more HD on my face after I've done the rest of my makeup as well. So I just make sure that I fill them in a little bit. I like to make sure that my tail end of my brow is more defined as well. And just also, I like focusing on my arch, like the arch of my brow. I like to focus on that as well, and then just like really curve it out. But the tail and any sparse areas, like more towards the center of my brow, I like to fill in as well. But my eyebrow hairs they're pretty nice and dark. If you had less brows, you might want to like draw them on a lot more. So an eyebrow tutorial maybe should be in the works. Do we want an eyebrow tutorial? I want an eyebrow tutorial. I want like a full brow tutorial. Thank you. Okay, post that eyebrow tutorial. Thank you. Look at me talking to myself. I'm going to post this exactly the way it is too. Like, who cares? Who actually cares? Me, I don't care. Stop talking. I'm using the MAC Stack mascara. This mascara was viral on TikTok when it came out, for very good reason too, because it actually works. It gives you a really nice false eyelash effect. I just go back and forth with this as well until I'm like satisfied with how it looks. I didn't bother wearing any eyeliner or anything either. I just wanted like a really nice skin focused look, and then I skipped out on doing anything on my eyes apart from the mascara. You can see like this pulling my lashes out. You can see how it's nice and dark, and that gives my eyes a nice definition already. Another thing I was thinking with my cold girl makeup was just like the focus would be on the lips, because if I was cold and sick, my lips would be dry and crusty. And my lips don't look dry and crusty in this video, and they obviously don't look dry and crusty after I did my lip combo, but like that was just the vibe. I'm sorry, the vibe was really just pale sick winter. Oh my gosh. Pale sick winter. Anyways, I'm lining my lips with Chestnut lip liner. That's just an essential for me with any makeup look at all, like a brown lip pencil. But I really like Chestnut. It's a nice dark brown. I feel like everyone and their mother uses this lip pencil. And if you don't, you might need to invest in it. It's definitely worth it. I've used this and I just haven't gone back to anything else. I'm now using the liquid Dazzleshadow in the shade Diamond Crumbles. This is actually an eye product, so I obviously didn't use it directly on my lips. I just took it on my finger and then placed that all over my lips. It has really nice blue and purple undertones, or like, not really purple, I would say more lilac undertone, and it's a really nice intense sparkle. So I used that to give me that like nice sickly effect that I was going for. And then I go on top of that with my clear lip gloss, because I like gloss. I'm definitely a lip gloss person. I'm definitely like a gloss girl, and I love this lip gloss. It stays on so long. I've literally had days when I was in like lectures back to back for like 6 hours, and I said I don't wear makeup to school, which is true, but like when I would go to school, I'd probably put on like a little bit of blush, and I would always line my lips to school and put on my lip gloss, and I would literally be in back-to-back lectures, and I'll come out of my class and I'll like look at myself in the mirror and my lip gloss has not moved. 10 out of 10. That's the end. This is just me doing some finishing touches. I always like going back in my under eyes just to do a nice final blend and make sure everything is like seamless there, because my eyes are like maybe my biggest problem area because I get dry eyes. And I spray my face with setting spray and that's it. Thank you for watching this YouTube video.